So I'm ready to introduce my next guest, actually my next two guests from Schenectady ARC, Peggy Lacy and Mary Langelier. Would you come up, please? And let's give them a big round of applause. Oh, yes, I'm going to actually step down. I'm sorry, yes. Now, Peggy has worked for Schenectady ARC since 2013, and she's taken on some very challenging advocacy roles and helped individuals achieve goals that some assume to be unachievable. And she's going to talk about, from a direct support professional, her perspective. And Mary is an individual who receives services from Schenectady ARC and also works part-time. She attends Schenectady ARC's City Club and works 3 days a week. Let's give her a big round of applause. That's what it's about. It's about opportunity. Oh. She's also a member of the clinic committee. She loves to travel and is an active volunteer with the Spina Bifida Association. Thank you both for being here. So, you're very busy.
Yes, I am.
You're very busy. Tell us about some of the things you're doing.
Hi, my name is Mary Langelier. I've been a consumer with the Schenectady ARC since 2006. When I graduated high school. The ARC has provided me with day hab services, social work services, physical therapy services, and employment training and job coaching. My day hab services are staffed by direct service professionals, many of whom are affected by the low wages available to these workers. I have actually benefited from these direct services since I was quite young. Beginning at the age of 8, I was qualified for a waiver program that included community hab services and service coordination. Over these many years, my ComHab workers took me into the community to foster skills that I needed to be more independent in community settings, including things like traffic safety, money management, and courteous behavior. These workers also helped me to enjoy lots of community resources, including things like county fairs, house caverns, painting workshops, and farms and zoos. In addition to taking me to the movies or shopping, I have also qualified for weekend respite services in state-sponsored houses that depend heavily on direct care professionals to help me with dressing and bathing. All of these services have been affected by the inability of sponsoring agencies to recruit and retain direct service professionals to work with me and others like me. This problem has been particularly noticeable in more recent years. People who would fill these jobs can find employment that pays more and demands less in places like restaurants and entertainment venues. As a result, I do not currently have a community hab worker, and I only get respite services a couple of times a year, when in the past I received them almost every month. My day hab services, while still continuing, have suffered from lots of staff turnover, which is difficult for consumers. Many of us get quite attached to the workers in these programs, and the ongoing transition to new workers is difficult. In addition, programs are short-staffed, which sometimes mean that our options for activities are limited when staff to consumer ratio are not adequate. I do not understand why workers in the state who work in other less meaningful jobs are required to be paid more than those who help consumers with special needs. Thank you.
I just want Mary to repeat the last line again. This is like really important what Mary just said, and I asked her to repeat it, so she said okay.
I don't understand why workers in the state who work with who work in state other less meaningful jobs are required to be paid more than those who help consumers with special needs.
Well said. Well said. So, Mary, well said. Well said. How would you describe your relationship with the direct care professionals that work with you? How would you describe that relationship?
It's been hard because, like, one of my staff, I actually felt like she was a sister to me, and we went out every Thursday, and I've had her for like 2.5 years, and then it was through a different agency, but she just doesn't work for them anymore, so it's just hard because we got a very special bond.
And do you miss her?
Oh yeah, I text her all the time. Though.
And not having that relationship anymore, that alone changed your life.
Yeah, and like I said, I had one other worker after her, but I was telling Schenectady ARC, I've been without a worker for almost a year now. And it's hard because I don't have anything to do on Thursdays anymore. So.
And that's what it means. It means less independence. It means less opportunities. That's the impact that the loss of one direct care professional, that's the impact that it has on individuals. Let's give Mary another round of applause. Now, Peggy, you've worked as a provider for Schenectady ARC. Now, you just heard it from someone who receives services. We want to hear. Okay, has something on your hand? Okay.
I actually wrote Mary's name and number on my hand. I provide community HAB support, so we're going to hopefully try to hook up and arrange something that we can work together.
That's what our direct care field is all about. People that care, people that go above and beyond the call of duty. Let's give Peggy another round of applause. Yes, she deserves it.
Thank you. Well, first of all, we all deserve it, and I've been trying, I can't really say anything that could possibly, equal what Mary, shared as a person who receives supports, and her life is really dependent upon having quality people to help her. I mean, that's as basic as it gets. So I was thinking, what was I going to talk about, and I wrote some stuff down. But first of all, I want to say I'm really proud of what I do. I'm really proud of what we all do. I've made, in my life, I probably followed a less typical path getting here because formerly, in my former life, I was in corporate sales for too many years and kind of took this job just like temporarily till I figured out where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do. I figured it would be fun to do. I have like a history from way back when I was in college, and here I am like almost 5 years later. And I love it. And like I see so many people out here that I know, both my coworkers and our administration, you, are individuals whom like I dearly love, and I think I can speak for others I work with that we all really feel the same way. In the bond that Mary was talking about, it's really true. Like it just, it's your life, and yeah, I knew I wasn't going to make a lot of money taking this job, it wasn't really about that. But the fact of the matter is, and I actually feel like, the young people, for the most part, who work in the houses have a really, really, really hard, physically demanding, emotionally taxing, yet equally rewarding job. I feel like I'm lucky. I get to take people out in the community. We do fun stuff. We work on living skills. But it's, I wasn't really thinking what I did was that important until I heard Mary say that she really missed her community HAB person and support services. So the other day, this is what I was thinking. The other day, I was actually out with John Barkowski, and we were at Aldi's. And we paid, and then we were putting our stuff in our bag, and right in front of my face, there was a help wanted ad. So I read it. Starting rate of pay for a full-time, I probably shouldn't say this, but for a full-time, store associate, whatever they call them, is $13.60. Bottom line, by the end of a year and a half, you'll be making like almost $16, including benefits, the whole 9 yards, 5 weeks vacation. And then a shift supervisor, they start you at like almost $18 an hour. I can pretty much guarantee you that none of our shift supervisors make that much money. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying, no, it's at Aldi's, right? And I know that Target starts people at $15 an hour. And hey, I think everyone deserves a living wage. I'm not saying we're more important than they are, but like, at least make it equal. Like, it just does not make any sense. Another thing I wanted to sort of point out. Yeah. Like, hey, Bill, it's kind of a no-brainer. Like, I don't get it. The other thing I wanted to sort of talk about a little bit was every week, this goes to the point of lack of staffing at the houses. Now, I'm not even talking day programs or community hab or the other stuff. I'm talking people who live in residences that need people for their lives. So I just quickly pulled up a bunch of emails. Like every week they send out like a staffing email. And I actually did count. The average is 50 open spots per week among, like, we have, 22 houses or something? And that, but then I'm like, I should have counted the hours, which I didn't really think to do until right this second. But, if you convert that into hours, how many hours, like, seriously, how many hours, just in our little itty-bitty agency, how many hours do we need staff? So what happens is, like, these really hardworking, dedicated, caring, awesome, amazing, for the most part, young people, work double shifts, triple shifts. We pull in, a little bit of overtime here and there, which is nice. But if the state just like took a step back and say, hey, instead of like paying all these people overtime, why don't we just like, pay people better to make, more staffing available? Like, it's just, it's not rocket science. Anyhow, so I don't really know that I have anything else that I wanted to say, other than I would like to say that I'm really happy to meet you, Mary, and I hope we can work something out. And in fact,
let's give them both a big round of applause. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Peggy.